First got into bodybuilding probably around 3 years ago when as I left school I was playing for Oxford United and I got released. During that time I found myself doing a gym program to get stronger, and I really enjoyed the gym environment. When I got released to kind of release stress that I had built up and a little bit of confusion of what to do, I found myself in the gym environment more and more each day, where I bumped into an old friend of mine who I went to school with, who was a bodybuilder. And he basically said, like, you know, you train well, but kind of train a bit messed up and your routines are wrong and technique can be improved. So just come jump in with a session with me and I'll correct these things for you. So we hit shoulders one Saturday afternoon for about 3 hours, and it just immediately got me hooked, and I had a massive love to bodybuilding, and then kind of began my journey and trying to understand it and improving it and move forward, and yeah, never really looked back from that day. Fasted cardio or not, I'm a fan of fasted. I just like getting up early in the morning, getting the cardio done, release the endorphins from my body, kind of get a real feel-good factor. And for me, it's just a real good start to the day. Kind of put my headphones on. I could listen to anything from a podcast to a motivational speech from like Eric Thomas, Les Brown, to heavy metal, and kind of release any stress that I'll have and kind of think things through for the day, set my targets for the day. And for me, it's the best start to the day. I'd rather do cardio in the morning than pretty much anything else. Or HIIT training. I've never really done a massive amount of HIIT training. It's not really been my thing. I think the closest thing I've come to it is a type of interval training post-workout. But again, I've seen people on Instagram and in the gym doing HIIT training and they look absolutely insane. So I think it's down to personal preference and your goals and what suits you best, and also time. You know, fasted cardio for me is up to an hour in the morning, but you can do HIIT within 25 to 30. So also time can play a big factor in either of these. So, like most, I kind of went into the gym and my ego was the biggest thing. I was always trying to outlift people around me, and it just mainly come down to being insecure and trying to find my feet in bodybuilding or the gym environment. But it mainly got serious when I first got my job as a PT. I started learning the right and wrong ways to do things, and then obviously now I was responsible for other people's training techniques, and I quickly realised a lot of stuff that I was doing probably wasn't the safest and wasn't the most efficient way of doing things. So it mainly got serious after a certain event happened to myself, and I just wanted to try and turn a negative event into a positive outcome. So with how I was feeling at the time, a lot of anger and frustration and a lot of emotions, I thought, okay, let's put that into weight training. So I really started to knuckle down on my food, consuming a lot of calories. At the time, they weren't the best of calories, but my understanding of nutrition at that time weren't as good as it is now. So I was just looking at getting as many calories down my neck as possible, and then going to lift as much heavy weight as I can. And I put on some size, and a guy that I was working with just said, why don't you shred down what you built up and jump on stage with me. So on the 12th of December 2016, I made a decision to compete the following April in a men's physique class, junior men's physique class. And my mate pulled out the show about a couple of months later as I was like doing my prep. I was prepping myself and I just kept my head down and I'd done it. And I think I got absolutely hammered on stage. I was in a UK BFF category, federation, sorry. And I got absolutely hammered. I think I come third from last or something embarrassing. I prepped myself and I got myself lean, but it's a difference of getting lean and then getting competition lean, where the manipulation of water and carbs during peak week and carbing up and all these things that I had no understanding about seriously showed on the day compared to other athletes I was up against. But I remember driving home that day and it kind of made me realise that where I was thinking I was doing well, I had a lot to learn. I was nowhere near where I thought I was. So I got in contact with my coach, John Mitchell, who is still my coach today, and I remember texting that night, and we got to work the very next day. and 2 years later we're now going for another bodybuilding show now instead of men's physique. So massive thanks to him and obviously Pharma Fitness at the time who was helping me out leading up to that show, and then fully sponsored me now for the last 2 shows I've been doing. So having a good team around me as well, coach and supplements and friends and family has helped competing and taking the sport seriously. Prep or off season, I think I'll go with prep, even though it's a lot harder and a lot more full on. I just seem a lot more efficient. Even though I'm lowering calories and carbs, I just find that I'm always up early, the crack of dawn, 4, half 4, doing cardio. Go to bed later, I've got kind of more energy, more drive, more kind of focus and hunger. I think because when you're getting into the trenches in prep, you really kind of find out whether you have the passion for what you do or if it's just you're doing it for other reasons like social media or things like that, which I discovered I just have a massive love for bodybuilding, and I can't describe how it come about, but it is what it is, and I just enjoy every day of getting up and trying to push myself and better myself, and idolising certain people on social media and in the industry when they're saying the same things. It just makes me want to push harder and hopefully one day be in their shoes, reaching out to other people. So definitely for me, prep over off season, but the benefits of off season, you're a bit more fluffier, you can lift heavier weight, which is a good thing and a bad thing, but your PRs and your 1 rep maxes are always increasing, and you have a lot more kind of flexibility with family and friends and more of a social life, but I don't think you can beat the trenches of prep, to be honest with you. It varies, it's definitely between back or legs. I think I'd probably have to go legs, and it will depend what gym I'm in. If I'm in a bodybuilding gym or a gym where it has hack squats and other types of like kind of cool leg machines that I can jump on and use, and it's got a great atmosphere and people are yelling, I prefer to train legs in that environment than if I was in more of a commercial gym like where I work. I'd then probably prefer to train back, as they just have the standard back machines that you can still get a good workout in, but the atmosphere and the other machines lacking wouldn't really be beneficial for trying to hit a proper good leg session. I look up to a lot of people. I look up to obviously all the IFBB pros and mostly some guys who are just my age as well. A couple of friends of mine who do bodybuilding, my coach, just mainly positive people who have achieved something but are always positive. I think if you can click on someone's story on Instagram, and no matter how you're feeling, click on someone's story and smile and laugh and take positivity and motivation from that, I think that's just a great role model, not only for the industry and for the sport of bodybuilding, but just a great role model for human beings in general, to always try and put positivity back into people's lives and to take that and then impact that into other people's lives or clients or colleagues or whoever it may be. But just having a positive impact of people around you, I think is the key to obviously being inspirational to others looking up. Bodybuilding gym, hands down. I found that even though bodybuilding gyms are technically more intimidating as what people would say, yet they're the most kind of nicest gyms to train at. Everyone is on a level. No one cares what you wear, what you look like. All they care is that you train hard and you're respectful to members and the gym rules. And some bodybuilding gyms are a bit kind of scruffy, but you could always jump in with people. You can always go up to the biggest guy in the gym and ask him a question, and he'll take the time out of his workout. Well, in my case anyway, he'll take time to teach me something and speak to me. There's just no egos really in bodybuilding gyms, because no one has a point to prove. Everyone's there to kind of just do the work and encourage others around them, and you're more of a family, and you're there for one reason, because you all love lifting weights, going to the gym and the sport of bodybuilding. I find the commercial gym and working in one, there's a lot of egos. There's just a lot of egos and people trying to impress females in the gym and outlift other guys, and it's quite a judgmental place at times. But the main focus is no matter where you're training, you put your headphones on, put your hood up or whatever your style is, and just get the work done and get home and start eating and sleeping to grow and recover. That's the main thing. My end goal is just to be the best I can be. You know, ideally, yes, I'd love to move to America and have a nice house and drive a truck and blah blah blah, but you know, I'll never say never. Someone's got to be doing that, so why not me? But I'm fully aware that it's going to take a lot of years and a lot of sacrifice and a lot of hard work, so just to be the best I can be, and if I can help anyone along the way, then that's a great thing. But just to enjoy it, I just want to wake up every day and just enjoy doing what I do. And if it takes me far, then great. If not, then I've enjoyed it, and hopefully I've learned and inspired others. But hopefully one day we will have a few trophies and be living in sunny America. But we'll see what happens.